Olá galera, bem-vindo a Xucaboa 100% Vanilla Baby, onde que eu estou tentando fazer a cidade menos vanilla, 100% vanilla que vocês já viram toda a vida. Let's load up our last save game, and as always I'd like to say thank you, gracias, obrigado, merci, and grazie to the Xucaboa citizens. Normally I would read all the names here as fast as I can, but there are 50 and it's just too many. Like I do every time, everyone here will have a building name for them in today's project. To get on this list, just subscribe and leave a comment on this or any Xucaboa video. On the honor roll today, we have O Construtor, Os Brasileiros, AC Original, Lovely Creators Club, CSA, BBBB, Kevin P. Sullivan, Harold Isaura, and CS Vanilla Group, and Xuca the Cat. There are a lot of new names, so let me explain a few things. This channel is called Xucaboa. Now como Xuca Brasileira, it is my cat's name. All episode save games are available for free in the Steam Workshop. This city is called 100% Vanilla Baby, and that means that I've never used a single mod at all during any of the 15 months I've been working on this build. I do have all DLC installed, so to load the save game, you will need them or some things may not appear or work. I've got a simple 4-step approach to making a detailed vanilla city, which I call the MIAU Method. Mixed zoning, density, and districts, interesting terrain transitions, an organic road layout, and undeveloped areas for nature. This episode will be presented differently than previous episodes by showing you the finished result of this island project first. Then I'll show you how I did it step by step. Take a look at how I used MIAU Method along with some really large assets to make this island really unique. My goal was to create a historic area with lots of impressive buildings, but I also wanted to have lots of natural areas and community spaces outdoors. Keeping with our tropical map theme, there is an abundance of vegetation that grows in the nooks and crannies of undeveloped land. By staggering many layers of terrain, we have opportunities to make a very dynamic layout. Using a blend of campus and park life assets with unique buildings, we imagine some really magnificent locations. And by mixing our zoning and deliberately choosing which buildings we'll keep, we get neighborhoods that look great and work well. I started the layout for this project in my last live stream, and began by putting a temporary university area to grow a liberal arts campus to 5 stars and unlock all of the associated buildings. Take a look here at this replay.
We've got to, I'm just going to do, there is no planning going on here. I'm just making a crude grid where I can slap down some university stuff so I can unlock all the university buildings. I will extend the Isla Isaura campus district to cover this. Maybe a little bit on this side too, by our park low. We're not going to keep this. Do not get attached to this. Well, virtual gamer, we've got higher education though. We've got the Marcio Technology Institute, the MTI.
So you can see these are the remains of that growth area with some buildings I don't want in the island or that just can't fit. I'll put them somewhere else in the future. We also worked on putting a sea fortress on a small mountain, so watch here to see how it was done in the live.
Because you have to flood it, and then, using artificial means, using this fresh water outlet. So what we'll do now is, let me extend this a bit, and make a little pit, and then I will add this right here. We'll connect the pipe. I have until the power goes out that it will pump water, and that's usually all I need. We'll just fill this mountain with water. And hey, Tau Alpha Nu, I am back, but only for today, and I'm gone again for another couple weeks. Okay, so now I'm going to pause the game for a second so it doesn't overflow too much. And I think it's in level 4. Yep, the Sea Fortress. Just like any other water asset, now that I've created a source of water with a shoreline, I can plop this on it. It rotates not always the way you want it because of the way, waterfront stuff does that. So we'll try, I wanted it at kind of an angle. So there's a corner sticking out. I think that's about what I want. So now I've got the Sea Fortress up here, alright? And it's got a moat, but we're not going to keep that moat because it's on a mountain. It doesn't really make sense. Doesn't need a moat, it has a bay. Baby Xuca driving a minibus. Alright, let's, real quick.
So now you can see how I filled in this area around the fortress to look almost like a Moorish castle from the Iberian Peninsula, overlooking a strategic waterway. But over the centuries, access has changed and now there is a focus on tourism and aesthetics. Underneath the castle, I decided to put a cruise terminal area because that very much reminds me of Lisboa, Portugal, where I live. Although I don't love cruise ships too much in real life or in the game, it will still add some nice variety to the area and bring tourists to this island. After the live stream, I began working on this project here, where I extend the terrain out to accomplish this. Waterfront work can sometimes be tricky, but I think this went pretty smoothly. Now we've got this cruise terminal area and a nice beach underneath the ruins. You might wonder why I don't love cruise ships, and aside from professional and hygienic reasons, I think they create a lot of unnecessary emissions and waste, and they can really negatively impact the development of some areas and create an imbalanced economic dependency. But also, ay caramba! In the game, they just dogpile on top of each other trying to get into the terminal. That is really not the way to maneuver a cruise ship. Now, to create vehicular routes to the island, we need bridges. And using the 4-lane industrial road, I wanted to make a bridge with some ironwork. Not only are there classic stone bridges in old cities like this, but you'll see magnificent iron bridges designed by the likes of Gustavo Eiffel and Theophile Seyrig in cities like Oporto in Portugal. This isn't nearly as nice as those bridges, but it is vanilla and that's what I've got, so it certainly stands out visually. So this is the finished bridge, and like I said, not quite as nice as the examples I showed from Porto, but still thematically relevant. Xuca. Along the water's edge, I wanted to put the double-layer quay walls like you'll find in places like Paris. I didn't want the lower level to be right at the water because I imagined there would be some kind of small docks that float alongside for small boat access, which we can't do in vanilla. But I added some sections of the quay with a wider bottom to simulate dockage and wharfs, as you'll see in just a moment. So here are some examples of the wider bottom tier which I've placed in a few spots to represent an area where river barges and other similar craft would tie up. Of course this can't be done in the vanilla game, so it's really just for the look but without any of the function. Over here I wanted to create a pedestrian parklow with a small European stone bridge. Now hear me out, playing with these CCP bridges can be tricky because a lot of the node tricks that I usually use will change the size and shape of the parts of the bridge. Here I'm having a hard time, but I eventually realized that I wasn't even deep enough to pass a road underneath. Now the tram road lines up with these arches here, and it looks pretty cool. Now in order to make a pedestrian parklow, which may or may not exist in real life, I don't know, I created elevated ramps that join the terrain halfway up and wrap around to connect the sidewalks on the top and bottom. I was sure to use park gates to get some extra income to pay for all these costly buildings that I'm placing down. Here we go. People are definitely using both sides of this walking parklow. It may be a bit more creative than practical, but I think it looks really cool to have the paths go through the arches. On this side of the avenue, I had created a big hill, and I decided to use the School of Education building from the Liberal Arts campus, which is a gigantic asset, to sit right on top. The school looks very much like a real palace, just less ornate, and I thought this would be a great spot for the largest palace in the vanilla game. Carefully joining my campus and park areas, I connect this road to the buildings using paths, which is an awesome thing about campus buildings since they don't need street access. Here is the finished product. Looking very grand on top of this hill. I had added a key wall around the back of the building and decorated the grounds with some park and campus assets to make it look like royal gardens. I was very careful not to plant any trees in the fertile soil because I really wanted the ground to keep that yellow color. Don't forget that planting trees in fertile soil permanently removes fertile soil. Vegetation, however, is considered a prop, and so that will not affect it. So that is the bulk of the construction techniques that I used to make this area. I spent another several days zoning and detailing the island. And while I love detailing, the way I do it is way too hectic to show in a time-lapse. But we can fly around the island right now and take a look at all of the different sites and see how it looks. Remember the MIAU method as you look around. Don't forget, this save game will be uploaded to the Steam Workshop the moment this video is published, so you can subscribe to it and see for yourself. Just be sure to turn off fire spreading, or all of the trees spontaneously combust and will burn the city down in a rapid inferno. I really loved making this little amphitheater in the park using park props with a viewing deck. I think it came out really nicely. And just over here next to it, the reptile house is a great zoo asset that fits the architectural theme of the island. Here is the tunnel to the cruise terminal area. Using the industrial road gives me those nice little ventilation fans. Here I put the Office of Oppression with a nice plaza on either side of it, trying to make it look like an important government building. Here are some modern commercial buildings blended in on the main avenue, along with the cafeteria from campus. These three buildings are European industrial assets, and I wanted to include them in a logical place near the old wharfs. Then I continue this way with a blend of European and standard high and low density growables. Careful painting with district brushes allows me to mix styles like this. Over here, I made an impressive theater area with a park around it near the tower ruin in the river. I love how this spot turned out, mixing campus and park assets for a nice big plaza park area. On this hill, we have very large campus study park and the yoga garden next to it, among the large campus and unique buildings, with some residential zoning thrown in there. This palace is quite lovely with its curated grounds. Unfortunately, I kept getting one little dip in the plaza that I just couldn't smooth out, so I left it. Otherwise, I think it looks really great. Let's just fly around a bit more and take a look from a few different angles. Now it's time for the honor roll naming. Honor roll members have gone above and beyond in sharing Xucaboa to the world or otherwise contributing a lot to the incredible community of creators you can find here. Our first honor roll member is The Constructor, O Construtor Bruno Bastos. After my last live stream, he downloaded the save game and shared it to his audience of thousands of Brazilian builders. Take a look at this clip.
Aqui parece que ele está criando essa parte aqui, ainda tem informação. Realmente, ele estava na live, ele estava construindo esse castelo. Olha que bacana que esse castelo. Isso aqui é Vanilla também, tá, gente? Tem esse castelinho aqui no jogo Vanilla. Aqui a parte da universidade também ele está construindo, ainda não tem muita coisa.
Bruno highlighted my city to a huge new audience and said such lovely things about it. I was blushing while I was watching it. It was really an honor. And so since Bruno is o nosso prefeito favorito, I hereby proclaim the city hall shall be named O Construtor Bibi Câmara Municipal. Muito obrigado, Bruno. Everybody be sure to check out his channel, even if you don't speak Brazilian Portuguese. He's a prolific builder and a great creator. Além disso, nomearemos esta escultura na praça para todos os brasileiros, todos os assinantes que chegaram aqui depois de assistir o vídeo de Bruno. Eu sei que o nome da minha cidade não pega muito bem no Brasil, mas agradeço que vocês tenham dado um salto de fé para vir aqui e ver que tudo sobre City Skylines. Our next honor roll member is Ak Original, a great creator from Germany who gave a shout out to Xucaboa in a recent video. Take a look.
Xucaboa, Cradles, Right Kitty, and Sunken Ship. All the links are in the description. And I will recommend more channels in upcoming videos, so always watch to the end.
Thank you for that shout out, Ak. I think this academic library is the perfect place to bear your name. See what I did there? Now, Ak has also started a great Discord server called the Lovely Creators Club for YouTube creators like us to get together and discuss all the behind-the-scenes stuff about making great content for all of you. Doing this allows us to collaborate better and improve our content, as well as just complain about the struggles of YouTube video making. If you are a YouTube creator, just ask one of us for an invite into the club. I think if it were a real place, the Liberal Arts Administration building could be a truly lovely creators club. Now, there is also a secret society out there, where spies lurk and do secret spy stuff. It's called the CSA. To guard these secrets, the CSA will get this fortress castle on top of the hill. What is the CSA? Who's in it? That's too secret to ever discuss. I think I've already said too much. But what's not secret is a hysterically funny collaborative build called the BBBB, or Building Buddies Building Beautifully, started by Dean Webb. This multiplayer collab has everyone performing magnificently, so we'll name this amphitheater for it. I'll include a link to the playlist in the description where you can see many of your favorite builder buddies trying to build more beautifully than your other favorite builder buddies. What could possibly go wrong? Next on the honor roll is one of the recent heroes/villains of the BBB series, a panda named Kevin P. Sullivan.
Party on! I know, after a night of partying.
Love him or hate him, you know that he is a force to be reckoned with, and so we'll name the Oppression Office the Kevin P. Sullivan Building. Our next honor roll name is You Will Be Offended. Despite the name, he has yet to offend me, and actually said some very nice things about the channel and his build.
With Parque Xucaboa. Xucaboa is a really talented creator, and
You Will Be Offended does a lot of super chill live streaming on console, and for that we'll name this theater the You Will Be Offended Theater. Thanks, dude. So, one of my longtime citizens, Harold, has been working on making a sweet original soundtrack for the channel. Listen to this. Now that's just awesome. Harold, you're getting the Art Club Mansion at the end of the island, and it will be the Harold's Art and Music Club. You can chill here with Rick Rubin and make some sick beats all day long. On top of the hill, this Palace of Education will be named the Isla Isaura Palacio de Vanilla. Isaura is the founder of the City Skylines Vanilla Facebook group, and the reason why I decided to do this 100% Vanilla Baby City. Muchas gracias, amiga, para toda la inspiración y amistad. Ya tú sabes que eres la realeza de Vanilla. Finally, this palace will be named for the Queen of Roslyn Peninsula, Xuca the Cat. That was the longest honor roll I've ever done on this channel, so I'll be as quick as possible in showing the new citizen names for the longest list I've ever had. B&B Overlook, Simulando Games Marina, CCEIB Restaurant Pier, Carlos P. Ferry Stop, The Family Cruise Terminal, Platip Teutong Cafe, Jason Rocker Park Pier, Dennis S. Park Pier, Arles Chess Plaza, Fabu Prime Plaza in the Ruins, Drevumles Lifeguard Tower, Battletops Lifeguard Tower, Avik BH Info Booth, Mars Plays Cafe, Elise G Plaza, Lidiomar 1907 Reptile House, Enrique C Climbing Frame, Craig S Gazebo, Trains Fans Trampoline Park, Rafael T Volleyball Court, Darwisi Tennis Court, Ganso Gameplay Chess Plaza, Nixon R Gazebo, Beautiful Shy Alexi Statue, Natsu Fountain, Eric Martins MX USCA Gazebo, Joshua A Commencement Office, Fuchsia Outlaw Statue, Dry Joke Fountain, Kaikwinho Statue, Ava B Yoga Garden, Alexis Outdoor Study, Cities Insane Study Hall, Denji Library, Jardel R Statue Plaza, Eureka Park, D-Dub Plays Gymnasium, Jorshi V Fountain, Brad Stanton Cafe, Lonnie A Info Booth, Sean F Climbing Frame, Nicholas J Playground, Thomas D Community School, Overwatch Dance Club, Zidin K Firehouse, Chris Police Station, Yusef K Post Office, Eric R Cafeteria, Mina Psycho Drama Club, Alexis Elder Care. Alright, I think I got everyone, but it's such a big list, I'm terrified I missed someone's name. If you didn't see your name, leave a comment. I will make sure to put you on the honor roll next episode for being a good sport about it. Remember that everyone who subscribes to my channel and has a channel of their own will be featured on my main page channel list. So let me show you the district painting I did to help blend styles and assets. The historic Isla Isaura district is European buildings, but I erased it where I wanted standard buildings to grow. As for the park life and campus zones, which cannot overlap, I had to gerrymander them a bit to get things the way I wanted. Now, there are a lot of new bridges, and so this is a bonus for you. Anyone who comments, stone bridges are the best, we'll get this one named for them. Whoever comments iron bridges are superior will get this one. What a lovely bridge is the bonus comment for this one. And that last bridge is also very nice for this one. Let's not forget the Parklow with what about the pedestrian Parklow Bridge? Please limit one bridge per comment. You can't have them all. It'll just be a bonus honor roll thing for next episode. And with that, we'll wrap up the video by taking a big picture look at the whole city to see how it's growing and where this island fits in. I'm really very proud of this city and this project today. And seriously, thanks for being a part of the community and checking it out. Thank you for watching Xucaboa 100% Vanilla Baby, and I'll see you next time.